What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Badwolf. You know how this goes. Hit the bell, like, subscribe, and if you would be ever so kind as to leave a thumbs up, I would highly, highly appreciate it. It would be a personal thank you to your boy. All right. So, with that being said, let's get into the wolf pack stuff. All right. So, a lot of people out there have been achieving tremendous amounts of success. However, it has not been all the way across the board. Why? Because not everybody out there wants to, well, follow either the information, or else you're dealing with whoever in whatever office these people, these public people are in, where they're overstepping their authority because they don't understand the law, positive law and constitutional law, Supreme Court rulings by the, what are known as opinions by the Supreme Court. They are used to being the big cheese, okay? They're not used to people hitting them with law that supersedes what they're talking about. So how do you get remedy? Okay? So, in order to get remedy, let me tell you this. First of all, you are not going to find remedy in the lower courts unless you find a really good judge. There are some, okay? But not all. All right? So, first, when doing this, you need to have your paperwork right. You need to govern yourself accordingly by being a non-belligerent, non-combatant, but stating facts and asking questions. The winner of these outcomes are people who ask questions, all right? The people who are answering are the ones who are usually going to lose because eventually they're going to run out of answers and you're going to always have more questions. That's how you box people in situations and institutions and entities in, which is where most of these people are supposed to be. These monsters have been climbing out of the box and thinking they run the place. Remember, it is your land, your constitution, but you're dealing with their rules on their terms. So after you've set in your information, and as always, do what's best for you. This is not legal advice. You will never find one shred of legal advice anywhere on my platform, my files, anywhere that is the attorney in fact. Okay? So what you need to do is, after sending your information to the judge and a separate copy to the clerk, okay, to ensure that everybody's on the same page, from there, if you can, you want to find out who's in control over the courthouse. Somebody owns that. If you can find that, great. I taught you guys how to do that with the DNB. If not, then that's fine. The person above them, who the true judge is going to be the chief judge. Okay, so you're going to take the city, the county, the state that you're in, and Google chief judge of. Okay, so once you do that, so you should be sending out at least 3 or 4 of your dockets, your information, your files, your affidavits to those places. Now we're all on the same page. There's no hiding. Okay, we're all together. Let's all be at the table. None of this operating under the table. I'm going to ignore you because I'm a judge or a magistrate and I can do whatever I want to do. Okay, or the clerk might be crooked, or whoever. Let's all be on the same page. We're all doing business here, right? Right. All right. So from there, depending on what your situation is, you are going to want to then, if you need to escalate the situation and you feel like you have been railroaded and ignored, then you're going to want to send your stuff to the Attorney General, okay, who's usually in league with the Department of Justice. The Attorney General is the person who's supposed to be overseeing your entire state in the corporation or in the state of's affairs, okay, all these things. So send it to your Attorney General. You can also send your stuff to the FBI. You can also send it to the Secretary of State. You can also send it to the governor. All these places. Like I said, if you're not built for this, then you need to shut up or nut up, okay? Because it does take mailing out these affidavits and letting them know of your status and where your rights were violated. Now, after you've done all of those things, you've hit the primary people that you need to deal with. To get ultimate remedy, which you are not typically, let me say this correctly. If you're a U.S. citizen, then obviously this information isn't for you, though U.S. citizens can use this information. But if you're agreeing to be a U.S. citizen, you've agreed to be in their jurisdiction, and if you're rocking their stuff, then you have to deal with those legal situations, statutes, and whatever else. Now, this does not mean that you are the silver bullet, you are above the law, and you can do whatever you want. By no means at all, okay? But what this does mean is that if your constitutionally protected, federally protected rights have been violated and you have recorded this information and you can prove these things, and then where you're going to get remedy is going to be the federal district court. That is just it. You are going to have to download the file, the form for making a complaint in the federal district court. Now, here's the thing. You have to understand that the people in the lower courts are the kings and queens of their domain, and they don't like to have their chops busted, especially in front of people in the court. I just had a conversation with one lady who was icy all the way around on the outside. She handled all the paperwork, all the places I told her to put it, this and that. But then she messed up by, well, I won't get into her personal situations, but she didn't have the knowledge of how to enforce and show where the superior law came from and her jurisdictions she gave up, basically. And so for them, they were on the edge of their seat, like, oh, here he comes, she's good, this person's good, they're going to blast this. And then when she got there, she didn't understand how to answer, you know, is this you? Is so-and-so here? If they're not here, we're going to issue a warrant, you know, and know that they're talking about the legal name, whereas you're supposed to be able to tell them, well, my name is James Cash of the Lovett family, and I'm here as a special appearance, by special appearance, in regards to that particular person, entity, and business, estate, or trust. Okay? If you don't know these things, even to jump out of the gate, and say, well, so you're saying you're not that person? I am their counsel, and I'm an attorney in fact to them, and I have power of attorney. So is there a problem here? Are you not accepting my position to do this on their behalf? Because think about this, guys. If you're not there, and I've seen this happen, where people will send their lawyers or attorneys in to represent them while they're wealthy and they're at work doing whatever else, you can do the same thing, okay? But as always, this is not legal advice. This is just entertainment. This is from my experience, things I've done. I'm not saying you're going to have the same results, because you may not handle yourself or know how to handle these people the way I do. So that being said, learn all of the things that you need to do if you're going to go into their jurisdiction, okay? Because remember, you are giving them jurisdiction over your sui juris, your physical body. The closer you get to the judge, the more you're agreeing that you are on their ship. And just like a captain on the waters, which is what we're dealing with here, funny how sometimes some of these court buildings look like ships from the top, and they're supposed to be something like representing a ship in dry dock with a captain on it. Crazy stuff. Man, I must be losing it. Anyway, so what this person has to do from this point on is they're going to have to escalate it to the federal court. Now, understand this. Judge, I would like to move this to a higher court venue, blah, blah, blah. Denied. Shh. They can't deny you of your rights. They might say that and push that, but here's the thing. It's still you making a complaint against them. You still go make your complaint. They may not want to transfer it there, but you can still personally make your complaint against them there, where you will be the plaintiff and they will be the defendant. And we all know, well, if you don't, the plaintiff wins 9 times out of 10. And here's the other fun fact, is that when you're there, you are back under the Constitution. You can get equity there. You can get remedy there. They go by case law and Supreme Court opinions or rulings, cases, if you will. All right. It's going to be really hard for you to get into the Supreme Court, because they only take about 70 to 100 and some odd cases a year. And if they're unique, where certain things need to be redefined that they did not already cover. So that's why if you want true remedy, you're going to have to go to the federal court. That is it. That is it. Get out of here. Okay. Sorry. But that's the thing. If you want remedy, that's where you're going to have to go. So I thank you guys for your time, your effort, your energy, and reaching out to me via the emails, which have slowed down a little bit. So that is good. Thank you for watching the videos versus sending me, well, I hate to say it, but dumb questions. All right, because a lot of these questions are answered in the videos. Watch the videos before you email me. You should have already researched a number of these things before contacting me. Okay, I do answer only a couple for free. I'm not going to walk you through your entire case, so don't ask me that. Don't ask me about the bonds. I'm not going to do any of that. It's all entertainment and education. And so by the time you get to me, you should say, I thoroughly investigated all of the options. I need help in these areas. And please, guys, remember, I, though having a very high IQ and I enjoy doing this stuff for you guys and learning from me, I do not know all of the processes that people have out there, and some of them aren't legit anyway. Some of them are agents leading you guys to your slaughter, okay? So just be careful on which processes you do. I don't know all of them. I'm not going to answer other people's processes, you know, kind of like my boy out there, Yusuf L, says, you know, I don't know these people's processes and I'm not answering any questions on them. You know, if you don't understand the information I'm giving you, it's on you. But all I'm going to say is this. You know, you're getting the truth here, whether you like it or not. I know I've hurt some people's feelings by telling them straight up what it is. It's not personal. It's just business. And, you know, I'm here to help educate you guys. What you do with it is on you. I've already learned half this stuff. I'm trying to get you guys caught up in the game. Because if you don't know the rules, how do you expect to win? Don't forget to hit that bell icon, subscribe, guys. Support the Wolf as much as you can. Join the Wolf Pack. Get some merchandise down below, because that's how I keep these lights on. Lights off. And I'll talk to you later.